already corrupt enough. I mean, it's not like our country's already bad enough off. You know, so now we got to worry about this guy coming in. And, that could be a real problem. So obviously, it's another ridiculous statement by Mr. Santorum, who is becoming very quickly the king of ridiculous statements. And the fact that a presidential candidate is going around saying this stuff in the year 2012, no less, really calls into question, who are these people who support him? Are there still Americans who really buy into this crap? Really? I mean, it scares me a little bit. I mean, I don't think they're in the majority. I think most people are good, reasonable human beings, even those who claim to be extremely religious on the right wing, or even the left wing, for example. You have a lot of left wing religious nuts too. But there are this block who listen to the 700 Club, get up every morning to listen to John Hagee, spew on about how Israel's in danger, and how we got to help them and go to war, and, you know, carry the cross into battle, kill some Muslims, because that's what Jesus would have wanted. And these people are out there, and it's kind of scary that they get to vote. What are you going to do? And the last thing, this is something that I found this morning, actually, that made me want to do this over the Syrian issue, which I'll probably do maybe next week or something like that. But this is something that Rick Santorum said. Let me bring it up here. He said this to ABC News this morning. Said, "I don't believe in an America where the separation of church and state is absolute." Rick Santorum said that to ABC News. If that doesn't scare the crap out of you, then you need to read some history. Like, some European history would be really nice. I don't believe believe in an America where the separation of church and state is absolute. He doesn't believe in the separation of church and state. And he says the Founding Fathers didn't believe in it either. The Founding Fathers apparently did not believe in the separation of church and state. Okay. I have here with me handy little pocket constitution. See right there? United States Constitution. But it's not just the Constitution. I mean, I obviously you turn the First Amendment. And let me find the First Amendment. There it is. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Now, obviously, the free exercise thing, you know, you can worship whoever you want. But the first part, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Sounds pretty clear to me. But the biggest one is Thomas Jefferson's Virginia Statute of Religious Liberty, which is also included in this wonderful little pamphlet here. Whereas Almighty God hath created the mind free, that all attempts to influence it by temporal punishments or burthens. Old English. I don't know what burthens mean. Or by civil incapacitations. See, people used to actually know what the English language was. I mean, they used to know all the words, you know, but they never complained about people speaking other languages. Tend only to beget habits of hypocrisy and meanness, and are a departure from the plan of the holy author of our religion, who being Lord both of body and mind, yet chose not to propagate it by coercions, on either, as it was in his almighty power to do, that the impious presumption of legislators and rulers, civil as well as ecclesiastical, who being themselves but fallible and uninspired men, have assumed dominion over the faith of others, setting up their own opinions and modes of thinking as the only true and infallible, and as such endeavoring to impose them on others, have established and maintained false religions over the greatest part of the world and through all time, that to compel a man to furnish contributions of money for the propagation of opinions which he disbelieves is sinful and tyrannical, and it goes on and on for like 2 or 3 more pages. It's not actually that long. I recommend you just Google it. Thomas Jefferson, Virginia Statute on Religious Liberty. And it is a wonderful little writing. Jefferson himself was religious. But he lays out very clearly, because there was actually a debate among some of the Founding Fathers who believed that the government should promote religion, and that church and state should not be separate. They should be together, like this. And he comes from a Christian perspective and tears it down. and actually says the word wall of separation. This is about what his writing. He didn't actually put it in the writing itself, but when talking about it, he said, I want this to put a wall of separation between church and state. Now, if you've ever seen a wall, not much room to get through unless you put a door or a window or something like that. And he didn't say anything about a door or a window. So I'm assuming when he said wall, he meant completely separate. So to say I don't believe in an America where the separation of church and state is absolute sounds to me like somebody wants us to live in a theocracy. And what is a theocracy? A country where the religion, the predominant religion, is seen as the basis of the laws for the entire country. Now, how does that not sound like the modern Republican Party? You know what other countries are theocratic? Iran. But of course, their religion is bad because it teaches against gay people and women speaking in public. The Christian religion would never do anything like that. That would be ridiculous. So, no separation of church and state. God bless America. All right. Now I'm going to do something a little less morose and get into something I'm really looking forward to watching tonight, and that's the Oscars. And I'm going to make my predictions right now, the Oscar predictions. And I'm very excited for Billy Crystal to be back. I'm pretty excited that Eddie Murphy didn't get to do it because I'm not a big Eddie Murphy fan. But I love Billy Crystal. He's always been great at the Oscars. Last time he did it was in 2003. I was way too young, barely remember it, but he was hilarious, from what I remember. And he's a great comedian. And he's getting up in age, but I'm sure he's going to do a fantastic job. But my predictions. Lay them down here. We'll see. I'm sure there's going to be a date under this, so everybody knows I'm not cheating here. I'm going to predict and see how close I can come to predicting the Oscars, predicting the winners. Now, for Best Picture and Best Director, which almost always same film, I'm going to go with The Artist. I'm predicting it, and it's not just because everyone else is predicting it. It's partially because everyone else is predicting it, but I'm predicting it because I really think they're going to win. I'd be willing to put money down on it. The Artist for Best Picture, Michael Hazanavicius, the French director made the film, he's going to get Best Director. Pretty sure. Now the real contention comes down to Best Actor. It's between George Clooney, who everyone loves George Clooney, and I'm surprised. He's never had a Best Actor. I mean, he's had a Best Supporting Actor. He has never won a Best Acting Oscar, ever. So it's possible he could get it this time. But his main competition is the guy from The Artist, Jean Dujardin. And it was a silent film, The Artist, so he really did a great job of just emoting, and just performing without actually having to say anything. And that it was a fantastic performance, and I think he deserves the win, but I think the wind is behind, the momentum is behind George Clooney to actually get it this time. So I'm going to go and predict, despite my wanting Jean Dujardin to win, I'm going to predict that George Clooney is going to win this one. That's my prediction. Now, Best Actress is shaping up to be a battle between Meryl Streep, who played Margaret Thatcher in The Iron Lady, and Viola Davis in The Help. Now, this time I think the Academy is going to get it right. I think Viola Davis not only deserves it, I think she's going to get it. I thought Meryl Streep had a bit of a chance when she won the Golden Globe, but I think Viola Davis has a really, really great chance of taking this home. And she's been a great actress. I think she won Best Supporting Actress back in 2008 for Doubt. I think it was Doubt. Yeah, with Philip Seymour Hoffman. That was a great movie. And I think she has a really, really good chance of winning it this time. So I'm going to predict that she wins it. And what else? Best Supporting Actor is definitely going to Christopher Plummer. Everyone agrees it's going to Christopher Plummer. Period. Got that one. That's a safe bet. Best Supporting Actress, it's really between Jessica Chastain and Octavia Spencer, both in The Help. But I'm going to go ahead and side with Octavia Spencer because she's my favorite, and I really think they'll probably go with her. And especially if they snub Viola Davis and give it to Meryl Streep, they have to give it to Octavia Spencer. I mean, I don't think it's kind of an unspoken thing there. And beyond that, best adapted screenplay probably is going to go to, I'm going to say The Descendants, especially if it's going to lose Best Picture. It'll probably go to The Descendants. And Best Original Screenplay will likely go to, I'm hoping, it'll go to Woody Allen for Midnight in Paris, because that was one of the most interesting screenplays of the year. Really enjoyed that. I'm not going to predict too many others, just, animated film. I'm going to predict Rango. It is the year without Pixar, without Disney in the animated lineup, so pretty sure Rango's going to take it. There are 2 animated films I haven't seen that they nominated, like French films or something. I don't know how good they are. I don't know if they're going to win, but I'm just going to go ahead and say Rango has a pretty good shot there. I haven't seen any of the documentaries. None of them. I don't really know which ones are popular. I usually don't skip on the big documentaries. There's usually something interesting out there, and I try to watch it. But this year, nothing really popped out. But as far as foreign films, really good bet is on A Separation, which is an Iranian film about an Iranian couple. I haven't actually seen it, but it's got a lot of momentum behind it from what I've read. I want to see it. Probably going to be a great chance of winning. So I'm going to go and predict that will probably take home the Academy Award. As far as other predictions, I'm not going to get into all the little stuff. I always get them wrong. So I'm going to stick with the big ones so that I can probably get them all right and claim credit for being a prophet. Who knows? Start a fortune-telling business. And with that all being said, Oscar predictions now in hand, and you can hold me to them, see if I'm right. I am going to call it a day. No more subjects to talk about. Next week, I may talk about the Syrian issue a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe something will happen next week to push that out of the way. But yeah, that's about it. I think that's all I'm going to do. It's 25 minutes in. Probably don't want to listen to me babble on for any more than 25 minutes. If you haven't already clicked away, I honestly, if you're not asleep, wake up. Seriously. People falling asleep while I'm talking. It's annoying. All right. Until next time. This was JustinTime. Forgive me for the pun. Seriously, it was the best I could come up with. Goodbye.